Hi everybody, it's Thursday Live at Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio, and you're with us here at Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio in Amherst, Nova Scotia. And the first thing I'm going to show you is a rug that I finished recently. And we're just waiting for some people to come on, and there are some new people coming. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to walk in close and show you that rug. We're going live on Facebook right now and on Instagram. So hi, Wendy Marvin is watching, and Ingrid Taylor's here. Welcome, Ingrid. Hi, Joan. How are you doing? Joan Perry's here. You got some people watching on Instagram, Lorna?
Yeah,
Lauren?
Mary and Joy and Bonnie Moore.
Oh, great. Betty DeCat is watching, and Ann Bird from Kentucky. Hello, Ann. This is my latest rugs up here. Oh, that one's not so late. But Scylla Cameron from the UK, where it is cold and wet. And Colleen Latian, Lise Lemieux, Joan Wells. Hello, everybody. Lena Mullins is watching from Montreal. I'm going to walk in and show you this nice and close again while we're waiting for everybody to come in. Oh, I just love it. Liz Belbin from Newfoundland. I always think of Liz as I don't know, I think you work at Belbin's Grocery. I just assume, or you did, or you're retired from there. It's just such a beautiful grocery store in downtown St. John's. I love it. When I get to St. John's, I always drop in. Get some baked apples or whatever you want there. Pam Maxfield, happy Thursday from Ohio. Marie Cannon is watching. So today, hi, Jennifer Brennan is watching from Tidnish. And Carol Cooper from Wasaga Beach in Ontario. Judith Lilly is watching. So I'm going to pass this over to Angela, and she's going to keep her eye on that beautiful rug. I just love that rug. And I'm going to figure out what I need to do today. So I'll tell you what we're going to talk about today. Well, I've got my little book here that I keep everything in, and I'm going to show you our bird collection today. Angie's put together a new collection. I'm going to show it to you. I also need to show, somebody wanted to see the flower book that someone asked to see it. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you a new silk cord that we got in stock. I am going to show you where I went from last week with my sort of Bay of Fundy abstract, because I've done a lot of, I've done quite a good series of these Bay of Fundy rugs, and now I'm just abstracting it a little. I want to talk about a little bit about last Sunday's letter about contemplation and reading in the morning. I want to let you know about the Jean Oliver course and what that is, because I know some of you are wondering. I am doing a course on another network called the Jean Oliver Network, and I'm real excited about it. I've worked with Jean for a while and have taken many of her courses. And I'm excited to be sharing rug hooking with a whole group of people who don't know much about it. But you can also take it there, and it's very reasonably priced. So, and a lot of you are in design school. We've got design school's been going well. Everybody's learning. It's a self-directed learning, of course. You're learning on your own, but we're getting all kinds of great reviews about it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get that book about the flowers. It's down here, because this is a project that I'm working on. Oh, it is not down here. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. It's at home. I'm going to have to show you that next week, because I don't have it here. If these are, no, I do not have it. I'm going to check here. Sorry. Darn. It's a flower book. What it is a book. You can buy them at any bookstore, but they're Dover publications, and they are books of illustrations that are copyright free, and you can use them. So that's what it is. It's a flower book by Dover Publications, and it has images of flowers. So let's see what I did last week, and let's have a good look. So remember last week we were looking at this, and I did this part with the big merino, which is this here, and I think it's called Northumberland Sands. And so the abstracting that I'm doing here, Angie had some greens for me. And this is a big merino too. Not big merino, I'm sorry. I always get that mixed up. It's merino stream. And this yarn here, this dark green that I'm using, I'm just going to go grab that for you so you can see it. Kaylee, do you want to come in and say hello to everybody today? Do you want to come in?
You gotta,
Come on in.
gotta speak up.
Hi.
Gotta talk out loud. What are you doing? Whose order are you filling right now? Or just say their first name.
I'm sorry, I forget.
Oh, what?
I ordered navy velvet, so if you ordered navy velvet, then I meant.
This green is the Alpaca 33, and it's really nice. It's a little bit hard to hook because it has quite a big twist to it right here. See, it's a 3-ply yarn, so it's a little hard to pull up. It's 3 big plies, but if you wanted to, you could even unwind it if you felt like it. But that is a great yarn. Now, the next color that I'm going to introduce is, I'm going to introduce this gray, like a nice steel gray. And, but I want to show you a few things. So this is like a seed pod that's sort of poking up out of the grass. And then I have all these little circles over here, which I'm just using whatever I can find, whatever I gather. And whenever I'm out on the marsh, I often see birds. So this is kind of like between a wave and a bird. So these are just the shapes that appeal to me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some of this gray. Highlander Grand is a really great yarn. It's not expensive. And it gives you a lot of texture. It goes a long way. It's $14.95, and that would be under our studio picks that we told you about. Okay.
Facebook Live installed.
It may have stalled for a second. If you just refresh your page, it should be okay. So I'll just show you how to do that. If you just go up here and refresh your page, we should be coming back up on Facebook, right there like that. So we give a lot of computer lessons here, and we are not really equipped, I want you to know. But we do know that. A lot of times, and also if you're having trouble with the sound, it has a lot to do with the settings on your computer. Sometimes if you just turn up the sound on your computer, that will make quite a difference. I'm using a lot of big, thick yarns in this. And now I think what I need to do is maybe I just need to find like a crazy old piece of cloth or something. And so I may go over to my cloth stash and hand cut something for in here. So this shape here, you know, not every shape has a lot of meaning. I got to tell you, when I'm making abstracts, sometimes I just put them in because it seems to call for it. But one of the things, if you took color school, one of the things that you learned, this is not supposed to be there. One of the things you would learn in color school, if you didn't take it this year, I encourage you to take color school and design school next year. They're both no longer available right now. So one of the things you will learn is that when you're creating, rather than color planning, you just want to sort of say that one color will tell you another. And in design, you've got to do interesting things. So like one color will tell you what the next color will bring. So now this gray is in here. And see how the line it's not breaking the line. So in this same motif, I'm repeating over here, but I'm breaking the line. And I think that makes it a little bit interesting. So there's a little lesson for you today when it comes to design. I took a watercolor course years ago from an artist called Shirley Hawley, who still lives here in Amherst. And one of the things that she said, and that always stuck with me, I never did well in the watercolors, and I never continued it. But you learn something everywhere. Like if you're listening and you're watching, even like if you only ever take one lesson in watercolor, or one lesson in whatever, I don't know, golf, you can learn something everywhere. And what she said to me is that in art, you always want to be doing, you want to be looking for the unpredictable. So that's why I don't want to always repeat my motifs, and that's why I broke the border over here, because I like to be a little bit unpredictable. But if you're unpredictable in the same way every time, it becomes predictable, right? So just think about that a little bit. Think about how you can make your art and your designs more interesting. So this is a real steel gray. Great color. And then I said I'm going to go get some cloth, because I don't want the whole thing to be made out of yarn. I still love to work with cloth. So I have to find the right cloth. And how am I going to use it, and where am I going to use it? That's why I like to have all my wool out and around, and you can see it all on. I like to have it on display. Like, I find it beautiful, my cloth and my yarn and my wool. You'll notice I changed around my studio so I could have a nice big white wall. I moved the white cupboard that I had there with the square shelves on it. I had that here for a long time, but I moved it, and I'm going to find a little piece of furniture for here. For now, I'm just using a few little carts. So let's go over here. So now I've introduced this gray, and I like how it's working with this yarn here, which is another merino stream that I used last week. Like, I like that. So this is going to come back in soon. I'm going to go over and look at my cloth. So here I've got some cloth down here. Do you want to show them those cloths? I'll just step outside so we can social distance. So I like this velvet right here, and I like this green. And I don't know if they're the right colors or not, but I'm just going to bring them over and see what I can do with those. So let's have a look. The other thing that I'm really loving right now is this silk cord. It's a little rough to hook with. It's not like perfect, but it gives me such a nice effect and such a nice contrast. I know that it will be beautiful. So I'm going to take this green here, and I'm just going to hand cut it. And this is just an old piece of wool cloth that I've had kicking around for a while. Got to grab my scissors. They're on the missing list again. Story of my life. Like, you would think I'd have a lot of scissors, but what happens is I think like Angela comes in and takes them. Joe comes in and takes them. I think that's what happens. I don't know.
I think the gnomes come out at night because they're always gone.
They're always missing. Okay, so when you're hand cutting fabric, you take your fabric, you fold it, you make a nice straight edge. Okay, so I don't know why, but for whatever reason, and so I don't always know why. I think that's that. I don't know why about a lot of things. I don't know about you guys. I think the fact that I don't know why is why. And did any of you read my Sunday letter last week? Anybody read it? I'm asking you a question, honest I am. I'm going to wait for the answer before I go any further ahead. We talked about contemplation and reading in the morning. Anybody? Nobody?
I did.
You, Lorna, you read it?
Yeah, I was reading.
Do you? Oh my gosh, I never knew that. That's so nice. Thank you.
I know you're talking about.
Do you ever roll your eyes? Anybody else? Anybody out there read them?
Ursula Gulliver, I read it.
Okay.
Tanya Tuttle-Camo, yes.
Yes, thank you, Tanya.
Jane Smith.
Cheryl loved it.
Oh, good. Okay. Because every morning, so my friend Elizabeth, she has 4 kids, right? And like her life, I don't know, she was a busy woman when she had 2 businesses, she had 4 kids, and every morning she would read just a little bit. And for her, it was a lot of spiritual reading, and you can choose your reading, whatever you want. I have 5 books beside me now, and in the morning, and I just pick and choose from them. But it really lets me get myself together for the day. And how does that go back to knowing why? I think it's because there's so much that we don't know why or how or what. But through contemplation and thinking, prayer, if you want to call it prayer, everybody has their own. For me, it's prayer. For you, it's something else. And that's that's fine. But through those things, we just get a few minutes to sort ourselves out. And we learn to accept the questions, I think, better when we have time to think. And rug hooking itself is a very, very contemplative craft, I think, or art, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care what you call me. But I call myself an artist, but you can call me whatever, craftsperson, whatever you want. But it is a very soothing, contemplative craft, and it gives you time to sort yourself out. I have sat down here so many times. I have sat down here at a loss. I've sat down here angry. I've sat down here grieving, over the years, and it has been there for me. And so in the morning, I just like a few minutes to sort of, and not a long time, though yesterday morning, I don't know, all of a sudden it was 9:44 or something, so I kind of think I went over on the reading. I'm reading a book by a woman called Ruth Gendler, called The Book of Qualities, and I finished that book, and I started on her book about beauty, and I'm really enjoying it. Next week, I'm going to interview her for a course that we're going to be giving, and it's going to be a free course. So you guys can look forward to that. We'll be doing that soon. We're going to have a free course for you later on in the summer. And Ruth will be interviewed in that. So I just encourage each of you. And so my friend Elizabeth, who was doing this when she had 4 kids, I asked her while I was writing the Sunday letter, I texted her and I said, because she still has a very, very busy job. And I think 4 kids are still living with her now. Or I think they're all home. Yeah, because everybody had to come home. So she said, Deanne, sometimes I do it every hour. She goes to her place, where you can center yourself, and she'll go to read and go to the, whatever your source is, and it's important to be in touch with it. So I just find that that's been helpful for me over the years. I've written a lot of newsletters over the years where I've said, I remember once the title is One Thing That Can Change Your Life. And it's a book, really. It's truly a book. So, and Carol Oram, my friend Carol Oram says, if you get one good idea out of a book, it's like one good idea is worth way more than $20, right? It's great. So here now I've got this green in here, and it's looking like a frog peeking up over this bar. Well, I'm not having that. It's not working, right? You can see that. It's not working. So this has got to go. So as nice as I thought it was going to be, I don't like it. If you ever need to pull something out and you're having trouble, put your hook through the loop and pull. So I'm going to take this green, because it's not the color. The color is good. I'm going to take this green and I'm just going to put a line along here with the green. And what I'm wondering is if maybe I should break up this big line. I'm wondering if this, because of the design, I'm wondering if this would be better like that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I think I like that better. Doesn't make any sense, but I like it better. That's good enough, I guess. All right. So even though I've got this design drawn on, you can see that I'm making changes as I'm going along. Okay, and that's part of what an abstract. That's part of hooking abstract. We do have a course on hooking abstract and abstracting things. I think sometime I'm going to do another one that's a little bigger and more involved. But not anytime soon. We've got a few different courses that we're working on now. All right. So I want to remind you about the course on the Jean Oliver Network, and I want to show you the rugs that are going to be used on that we're going to be able to make. So on the Jean Oliver Network, we are doing. So on the Jean Oliver Network, Jean Oliver is a woman from the United States, and she lives in Denver, and she has a network about art and craft and painting a lot. And we're doing a course on there. I'm doing a course on there called Painting with Wool. Angela filmed it. And we're going to do, I think there's 5 different projects on there. But this is one of them. And you can buy kits for them when you're in the course if you want. And so that's the wave. It's very beautiful. And then we do a single color abstract right here like this. And I have never done anything like this before. I've never actually worked with another organization. And then we do a tiny landscape, which is a floral, with a floral of roses in the foreground. And we talk about hit and miss, and we do the beginner sheet. So that is now it's $42 US. There is a link on our website if you want to join us. And it'll take you right through to the Jean Oliver Network, and you'll sign up there. So I'm excited to be teaching it. It starts, this is pre-registration. So it's $42 US right now, but I think Jean changes that in 3 weeks or something. It goes up. So if you're interested in that course, it's, it's a lot of, I can't say it's for any level. If you're a beginner, it'll be great, but we get into some more complex kinds of hooking through this, and I hope you'll join us. Now, I got to show you a couple of things before. What time is it, Angela? How much time do we have left?
8 minutes.
8 minutes. Oh, we've got all kinds of time. So, this is Angie's new collection. So this just came into my office. I didn't order it. I just like Angie's at home and she's dyeing wool and she says, I'm going to do chickadees, which I see every morning. So the bird collection is good for me because after I do my reading in the morning and I always go up the road and I meet Lorna sometime because she's walking in. Though I haven't seen you this week, Lorna. Oh, you're running in the mornings. You're not walking in now. Oh, okay. A lot of times I meet Lorna. So this is the chickadee. This one is the eastern bluebird right here. So it goes from mauve to sort of rust. And remember about your variegations. You can always cut them up and cut certain colors out of them. And we have the goldfinch right here. These are all 2-ply. And I think they're all $16 or $17.95, whatever the studio dyed wools are. But like this would be awesome for the rug I'm working on now. This section of this, right? That would be perfect. So sometimes I will take a color that I'm working on.
Dean, can you lay them on the frame?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
You want me to?
Yeah, the colors are much better.
Oh, awesome. Okay. And this one here is the robin. Aw. Robins always remind me of my mother-in-law. I talk to the birds sometimes, and I'm walking up the road. You ever talk to them, Lorna? You ever talk to the birds? Yeah. Does anyone else ever talk to the birds when you're walking?
I talk to the crows. Rich gets mad at me because I get them going. Because I caw.
Oh, you call back at them.
Yeah, and they actually, and they all start cawing. This
one is great. So when I see a robin, like especially the first ones of spring, I always think of Alexandra Mansour. She was my mother-in-law. When I think of crows, I always think of my mom. What about you guys? Do you have like relationships with birds? Anyone? Like, do you talk to them? It's something that you don't start doing until you're in your 40s, I think. I can almost safely say that. You start liking geraniums and you start talking to the birds. And this is the hummingbird, the hummer. There we go. And so there's the hummingbird. So there's a lot of really rich colors in here, in this collection. And you can buy them individually. This isn't as a collection. I just want you to know that. You can buy them individually. And here they all are. This would be great in my rug. So even though they're bird rugs, it doesn't mean that they're just left for the birds. You can do anything in them. I'm just reading over my book, making sure I covered everything. So I'm going to keep with this green here because I think now I've got it. I like this lump. I like how this is now kind of creating a lumpy space. So yes, even though these rugs have bird names, like this would make amazing seashells. This is good earth. This is a summer field, they're all, and this is a night sky. So even though they have those names, don't feel that they limit you. It's just what inspired Angie. We'll have to get Angie in again someday. Remember, she was great.
Oh yeah, Angie's awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to get her in, and once we get through this period where we don't have to be so worried about how many people we have in the studio. So, see how the cloth, I really want you to notice the difference between the textures here, and how adding this texture really is really going to change the look of the rug. And when we think about, taking time out to hook rugs or contemplate a little bit in the morning or plan, that's a contrast to the rest of your day, right? So think about that. Just like this is a big contrast, this soft merino against this, old work shirt, they are in contrast with each other, right? And when we take time out for ourselves to hook rugs.
Angie's saying you're making me blush.
Hi Angie.
Hi Angie.
So when we take time out to hook rugs or to read or to be with ourselves for a few minutes, that's a contrast to the rest of our day. And I just really want to encourage you, to make sure that you take that time. How do you take time for yourself, Angela?
I don't know. What do I do?
You do taekwondo.
Yeah, I do taekwondo. I love the summers. I love just sitting on the deck in the sun. It's so peaceful and nice. I like gardening. I'm really excited to do that this weekend. I've got a vegetable garden that I'm going to put in this weekend, so I'm really excited.
Oh. Okay, Lorna, how do you take time for yourself?
Not me. Just like to do some exercise, walking or running.
You're walking.
Deanne, they're asking what you meant by breaking the line.
So I had this over here. I had a line through here, right? There's a line through here, and I took it out. But when I drew these circles broke the line. Those broke the line. So that's what I meant. But now that's changed because the line isn't there anymore. It breaks the line right here. So it means that you're coming through the line. Does that make sense? I hope I answered that correctly. So I'm going to keep on with this green, I think, over here.
So what did...
No, I'm not. I'm gonna get into this. I want to use this cord. That's what I'm gonna finish up with. Where is it? Where's my white cord? I had it. Oh, there it is. Oh, knocking over the collars here. I'm gonna take this cord and I'm just gonna hook it over here in the end. So you see, I'm jumping around. I'm going from one place to another, and that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cord and I'm going to do 2 strands at once, and it's on our website, a silk cord, and I encourage you to try it. It's a great contrast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline, I'm going to go around all these circles here. With the silk cord, because I want it to be, first I was going to hook it in the background, but I've kind of done it as a background over here, right over here in the green. So now I'm just going to do it as and I probably put a lighter tan in here as a background. But it does hook up fairly, it hooks up fairly easily. It just feels a little different than wool when I'm hooking it. So I think I'm going to grab a little bit of this again. So there's no one color that's filling in all these little circles here. I'm just grabbing what I feel like. But this also adds a sheen that I wasn't going to get with anything else. And I'm liking that sheen. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Okay. So here I go. So we're going to be working on this abstract unless I go wild and finish it this week, which is possible if I get it in my head. But I think we're going to be working on this abstract together for a few weeks and seeing how it comes out. It's interesting to me to watch, to do things a little bit slower and to watch them develop. I finished a rug at home this morning, a very small little rug. I wrote a word and hooked it again. Every once in a while I like to do that. The word I did was grace, which I have done before. But this is an important word in my life because, like each of you, I need a lot of grace by times. And like each of you, I've been the recipient of a lot of grace, which is courteous goodwill. Okay, so that's it for today, folks. I'm going to keep on this, and I can't even, see, this is what happens to me when I get hooking. I can hardly lift my head to talk to somebody because I get excited, but that to me is looking really good. So I'm going to pick up my bird, and I'm going to move all of this. This was the dark gray Highlander that I used today, and we use this, which is our silk cord. And I encouraged you about the bird series that Angie has created. And I talked about, still using a bit of cloth for sure. I also talked about the Jean Oliver course and the Jean Oliver Network. And there's a link on our website right on the front page. And I also talk about the importance of contemplation and a little bit of reading, or using your rug hooking as a time too to contemplate and to think. And, oh, look at that. Look at that. Come over here and look at it from this angle. See?
Jean Oliver course you said was good for beginners, correct?
It's good for beginners to intermediate. Even for an experienced rug hooker, I mean, you can decide yourself. You can go on and see. We do a lot of different topics in the Jean Oliver course and a lot of different styles of hooking. Well, not styles, but different subjects, I guess. Look at those. They look awesome. All right, I'm happy with that. I hope you guys are happy with it. I'm excited, but I can see now that what I thought was going to be a river might be a big swath of cream. I don't know. It's not going to be as blue. I'm now moving into creams. And I didn't know that till just right now. That's the best part, isn't it? All right, see ya. God bless everybody. Take care. And tweet, tweet.
Somebody wants to see your rug up there, so I'm going to
Sure, I love that rug. Chrysanthemums.
I think it was Frugal Franny that wanted to see it.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Frugal Franny.